and expect that the exchange rate is going to strengthen even further. I expect that the rate should come down to maybe 1,300 to 1,400 before the end of the year. And this is something that we should celebrate. So, again, if I may add, you have seen that the CBN, is doing quite a lot, and businesses today do not actually need, foreign exchange from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The reliance, need for foreign exchange from the Central Bank has virtually disappeared. So, and of course, we also know that companies and businesses alike are getting, are able to get efforts abroad using the ATM and the credit cards. These are all positives. So, really, for all of this, we must give full credit to His Excellency and the government. There are bold reforms and decisive policies creating the foundation for a stronger economy, a more stable currency, and a better future for businesses and Nigerians alike. It's exactly what I just said. If you look at the prices last year and what we have today, you see that there is a significant reduction in all the commodities prices of food items. So I think we just need to be a bit more patient. Clearly things are getting better. And we must continue to support the government. And we owe this progress, to the vision leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you. Thank you.
What was in
and expect that the exchange rate is going to strengthen even further. I expect that the rate should come down to maybe 1,300 to 1,400 before the end of the year. And this is something that, we should all celebrate. So, again, if I may add, you have said that the, CBN, is doing quite a lot, and businesses today do not actually need, foreign exchange from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The need for foreign exchange from the Central Bank has virtually disappeared. So, and of course, we also know that companies and businesses alike are getting, are able to get efforts abroad using the ATM and the credit cards. These are all positives. So, really, for all of this, we must give full credit to His Excellency and the government. There are bold reforms and decisive policies creating the foundation for a stronger economy, a more stable currency, and a better future for businesses and Nigerians alike. It's exactly what I just said. If you look at the prices of food items last year and what we have today, you see that there's a significant reduction in all the commodities prices of food items. So I think we just need to be a bit more patient. Clearly things are getting, and we must continue to support the government. And we owe this progress, to the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you. Thank you.
To that one person that is staring at me, good morning. You don't like and share. Anyway, today we are looking to the future. Let's talk about 2023 as it relates to 2027. I'm one person that believes that 2027 is not about Tinubu, about Obi North. And I've always tried to break, when I say the North, I break into two. North consensus, collectively, the goal is to make sure Obi presidential ambition is put to rest at the end of this electoral cycle by making sure, politically speaking, by making sure, perform poorly in terms of numbers and at the same time in terms of position. That will put that, because looking at the future, that gentleman agreement between the North and between themselves will be a threat to the agreement currently. Now, that's one aspect of the North. The other aspect is there is a deep competition within themselves, within the political elites, within the power, within themselves who did the presidential hopeful. Because at the end of it all, the North will always come together and project one consensus candidate. So who is going to be that person? Literally depends on how well you perform in 2027, because that's pretty much like an audition time. So in terms of numbers and in terms of position, we go a long way to make case for you in terms of who should be the consensus candidate come 2031. So that's what is playing out currently. It has little to do with, oh, we have to take Tinubu out. All those ones are just to convince the common man on the street that that's actually a difference. No, Niger man, greetings. So that's what we'll be looking at today. The various candidates who are. I'm not saying these are just the 4 candidates who are going for 2031, but these are the ones who are making move early enough because they understand that 2027 is like final. It's our semi-finals. If you don't do well in semi-finals, there's no way you can enter finals. You say, Jama, Obi is a threat. Are you sure? Or they want to use him to collect obedient votes? I don't think Obi is a threat. Obi is a threat to the consensusship. Then, sorry, the gentleman agreement, that turn by turn, north and south. Obi is a threat to that in 2031. Now, what do I mean? If Obi do well in 2027, doing well means if he gets 6 million or above, or he finish second, how the system go to write him off in 2031? Who they won't bring come out for not? We go say yes. We go just run him up, we go just beat him like that easy. Done. And if it is Obi no go contest again, you never start. If Atiku they alive too, if it is a no go run to that right now, so that is the threat I'm talking about. I know they talk of threat in terms of 2027. No, how they want to get obedient votes? Who want to get obedient votes? The concept, this coalition, which they drag them into, that all you can say is playing along. They are trying to know where you want to run on, so that they go finish the party from. At the same time, they entice America join them. They know that is not going to happen. Obi will not go run under anybody. It don't pass that level. But I am not saying his popularity is enough to beat Tinubu. No, Tinubu is not. Tinubu go do second term, and there's no threat to that at this point. You understand? Now, what I mean by Obi is a threat to that agreement, because if you did in northern position, you know you go wish may nobody even contest from the south at all. And if there's anybody that is going to contest with you, should be somebody that you can easily be beaten. Don't forget, 2031, it will be the difference. It will be so obvious in terms of everything, right? Because all you need to do now is to pay attention to the level of poverty, right? Many people are coming into that ranks of poor people. But most importantly, demography they change. Come 2031, they are going to be like 3 generations who are on the same level. 3 generations who economically they are poor, politically they are not in power, literally they are useless in the scheme of things. 3 generations. the millennials, the Gen Z that we currently have, and the Zoomers that are coming. So, and guess what? With the popularity of Obi with the way he's going, is not. These are not going to be going anywhere, any down spiral anytime soon, unless the way they are collectively going after him right now. So it's I know this is not a, but I understand that everybody is locked into 2027, 2027. 2027, there's nothing. The only thing that why I'm paying attention to, and I encourage people who are following me to pay attention to, is this dichotomy between the North and Obi. Anybody they think that Obi is slowing down, they don't understand the game with that, because it's not about him. This is bigger than him now. What about Kwankwaso reports him joining? Yes, we'll get to that. Kwankwaso no get choice. When I mean no get choice. At this point of the game, it doesn't have the resources to float a party like it did in 2023 and do well. He can also, if he's survivor. Even though he get maybe the governor of the state, he has the royal institution under his control still. So the game is closing on him the way it is now. They narrow him. That's why you see say the APC in Kano no one give in. There's a reason why. So than to join bigger party, either join APC. He no go pay him unless he has a very good arrangement in a week. But APC is the best place for him because of his political ideology and that of the APC. If you want to say they are socialists, but whatever it is. And again, you understand that with PC at this point, yes, even though now Bola Tinubu stay in charge, as soon as Bola Tinubu start the second time, it don't finish. So he better for him to leverage the governorship in Kano and the popularity in Kano, bring in to negotiate to join party and focus next 7 years. Is it? For the next 6 years or 5 years in building structure within APC, or trying to take over the structure of APC in an attempt to emerge as a flag bearer of APC. I mean, I understand that is a tall order. But what choice does he have at this point? You understand? He don't get choice, so he has to join APC. Joining APC is what he wants before he join APC fully. I think what he's bargaining for is the APC structure in Kano as it is now to collapse under his leader, to adopt him as his leader of the APC automatically, which it makes sense because the governor didn't get him. So automatically, if he comes in, the governor will go follow him. The governor will automatically be the leader, quote unquote, of the party, but it no go favor him if there is a division in the sense that the current APC, lay by under the leadership of Danguje, right? Even though even though you say, oh, they don't come out of APC chairman, but no, it's still the Oga. As at today, he assembled all the former association of former deputy governors, right? So the guy still holds a lot of power in that regard. So the guy, the chairman of APC currently in Kano, is under his under Ganguje, is loyal 100% to Ganguje. So he's saying that before Kwankwaso has to apologize first for all he has done to the party or the abuses to the president, all those nonsense. He has to apologize. One, two, he has to agree to work with the current structure as it is until their tenure expire. So the guy don't agree. So Tinubu, being the man who is in charge, and Danguje still is Raranga, he said, no, if you want to come to APC, come as you are. Join the party, be under the leadership of the current chairman until things. So now where the things they for him. But at the end of the day, imagine he join APC and they're able to work things out, and the Kano APC collapse under his leadership. That's huge. That's huge. So they will just focus on getting on that thing. They will focus on making sure they get the governorship of it. Now they'll make sure they get the Adamawa. They will make sure they get Gombe, all those other places. So it will give him a very solid footing going to 2031 in terms of starting a chance of getting the ticket. I'm not saying that is a guarantee if you do all this thing work into his favor, but I think that's where his intention is, and I think that's his best option. If we say make he continue with NNPP, he doesn't have the money to fight because he go fight, they go face him. So his own game is a little bit more. It's hard. It's on a very tall order. But if he can succeed in taking on all these odds and overcome all these odds, his chances are very high. The chances are very high. So Pantami 9, people know they talk about that much, but they don't forget say he is the only one from the north who is technologically inclined to date. To date. What I mean to date in terms of the latest development in technology, AI, right? Quantum computing, all those advanced. He is the one in terms of coming from the north, actually, politically speaking, he is the man. So, and that is what he's doing, selling that to bringing the youths, especially the northern youths, coupled with his faith. So, if there's anybody in a better position to inherit Buhari followership, that's the guy right there. Plus, yeah, where Atiku days are numbered, politically speaking, and he's just getting started. So imagine they come 2031, he carried the current minister of what? Internet, no, cyber economy. I mean, that's their title. The name those, you guys see, digital economy. So if you carry the current minister of digital economy, kilo make I look for that guy name. I don't forget. Now young guy too, like tell me how you want to be that kind of ticket. Bosun Tijani. Imagine Isa and Bosu Tijani in one ticket. The only disadvantage which I could get is say the two of them pretty much are too young. So the old guard will feel threatened, kinda. But with the population of the youth on their side, nothing. so you see the game I play. Now Obi feel come in and carry another old guy from North, than Dirty Joe. That would be a tough one because the headers would like to, they would rather throw their way behind that kind of ticket than these young people. But it's in a very solid position to take on the obedient movement. If there's any movement that I am seeing, that I foresee that is coming, that is going to take on the Nigerian state and pull it off, should obey and obedient no feed do next 2027 and 2031. If there's any other person that has the capacity to mobilize or build another movement with an ideology base, even if you don't agree with the ideology, if there's anybody in that position has the capacity to do it bigger. This is the man right here, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantani, CON. This man right here, this guy right here, but I watch out for him. I could be wrong, and I'm ready to be wrong. But I put my money on this guy right now. Right? Now. I put my money on this guy for so many reasons. The youth, the northern youth, majority of the northern youth who can be categorized into three categories. There are one category are those who have hold on to the faith, to a fault. The Christian life, they go say those born again Christian. Faith, as in however you want to categorize the Islamic faith. They'll search one of the youth who belongs to that category 100% with Pantami, because they can relate. That's one. Two, the educated ones, quote unquote, whatever that means. The young ones who are educationally inclined, both in Arabic, Quranic, both the Western way, both the Eastern way at this point, China and the rest of them, they can relate with this guy. The last group who are technologically inclined, social media generation, that is the man right there. And that will go a long way to determine who becomes the president after 2027. You will not be escaped these three things. If there's anybody that can put these three together and form a movement around it, either around the digital world, which is pretty much a big focus on, or around the educated ones. Obi is also currently leading in that career from the south. Then the religion aspect, even though Obi is kind of scared to project that aspect, put it on that G. But this guy right here, that's what brought him to limelight. He's not scared of controversy. He's been a controversial figure pretty much all his adult life. So bring it on. Bring it on. So Professor Isa Pantami is one man people should watch out for come going into 2031. His movement currently is just like he moves like Atiku. Even though Atiku makes that is his own way of staying in the news, he go with convoy and popularize it, move from one kingmaker to one royal home to another. Pantami also do the same thing, but he brings it down to the youth level. Instead of going with a long convoy, you will see young people flogging around him. Instead of visiting all the quote unquote the big ways that like publicity, it does it under G, coupled with young people around him. So he moves. And lately, you begin to see the older guys begin to recognize his influence among the young people, and they are trying to tap into that by paying him a visit. Atiku visited him and put it out there for people to see. Obi do it codedly, but again, there's no way you can visit this kind of man codedly. Doesn't matter what time of the day you do and what we hour of the night. So the chunk followers of Buhari who are faithful who are following Buhari in terms of his faithfulness to the religion, who are following Buhari because of his love for the North, who are following Buhari because he's a no-nonsense leader, quote unquote, is uncorruptible. All those people are with Pantami. Unfortunately for Kwankwaso, he's fighting too many battles for him to focus on consolidating Buhari's followership. He believes that naturally they are with him. But recently, with the rise of Pantami and with the force move in from Atiku, the guy no fit concentrate. He just can't focus on that now. I say, okay, naturally I think they are with me, but let me stick my head out of the mud first before I can even say and can go back and remind them how we used to be. Because that's all you need to do. If you can figure out and kind of fight, because the fight that Kwankwaso is fighting in Kano is not just Dangote led APC alone. I think pushing all the button he can to make sure he also have his they hammer am. I think say na only Labour Party will be na APC the hammer. No, I don't even think at this point, if we wake up tomorrow, find out say no be APC they do surprise. I no trust Atiku. People don't understand how that guy how dangerous politically. Could be the one give you to big trouble. Dissolving making sure the Labour Party no get their footings. So the northern consensus conundrum, and you will be that will that's why 2027 to me a warm up. As I always call it, quantify it. It's an Olympic finals. How will you finish your semi-finals? we give you a lane. So to some extent, if semi-final is even more deadlier than the finals, because you have to go to semi-final first. You have to pass. You have to qualify to even have a shot position in the finals. So the not political DNA is all about. You know that. All this one way that it does. You're not that different. They are Muslim. They are Christian. They are Brad. They are Kanduri. All those are nobody is arguing that. But we are talking about politically speaking, the president. So they understand that speak as one, regardless of how the ordinary. But those guys at the top, if they come together and speak as one, they stand a chance. So when people are saying they not only speak, they speak in one voice. That's what I mean. Like politically, they speak one language. So the fronting one candidate to maximize block votes because there's no way in dividing the votes. All right, literally waiting for make Atiku win in 2023. Because nobody is talking about that. People are focusing on Buhari. The Atiku equation was totally left out of the conversation. But they know that nobody they think say come. To say Obi go up, people think that will come from Atiku. No, the possibility could have come from APC too. Means you reduce Bola Tinubu vote and take up Atiku up there. Nobody they think that. But me cannot say nobody, but I don't see all our political point is actually going that route. See, as we have seen, 5 or even Atiku PDP run, but Tinubu incumbency and his aggressive wing of northern APC loyalists as elite laser focus on preserving the rotation because people all of a sudden the turn by turn that a lot of plan on to in 2023. It's more important than all these things we talk about to them. Is at the core of every move these men make. So the SATs will continue in 2031 to look stock and burial. Recent from Buhari's old guards to opposition platform like the African Democratic Congress signal they are betting against Tinubu, but they are not burning bridges. They are post 2027 northern rivalry. Of northern influencer like El-Rufai to lock in Kwankwaso Kano machine is costing him dearly up north. Because El-Rufai no when I mean no count, is going to leverage El-Rufai has every other candidate as it stands in the north. I don't see the leverage that he has. His political structure is nothing to write home about in Kaduna there. So I don't know. Some of his best friends at that level are Sanusi. Sanusi is under Kwankwaso. So I don't. What leverage does he have? He doesn't have. No get followers, but El-Rufai doesn't have any followers, organic or unorganic, more than Kwankwaso or more than Atiku. Or and most important of it all, he know Atiku. So I don't say about El-Rufai, but I get it. He know how to talk. He understand the media to some extent. So he know stay in the news. Because that is at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's a game of control the media, they must control the news. That's what it's about. That's what all this is about. And that's where Kwankwaso is lacking. Kwankwaso ability to constantly not get the money and he have the charisma, doesn't have the personality, not be media laser focused personality. So and he doesn't have the right noisemakers. So I don't know. Atiku has so many media under his control, especially the media. But most importantly, yeah, he knows how to move. So he's been around for a minute. So to some extent, naturally, media is a newsmaker. He has been a newsmaker for a minute. Obi is the new media. Was the media darling? I use was because don't they fade off from the when I mean big media house, the arise only make Obi as a subject of the day. That means by maybe Rufai mentioned his name, but I think they are now shifting their attention to News Central, which is pretty much base. But it has a lot of his control. So Congo's downside. By 2031, the globes comes off. The North youth and voter turnout edge they deliver 40% of votes in 2020. Make it a single flag bearer to avoid 23 votes. Splinty Fiaco, your last. So I'm of the opinion that the North will let Tinubu finish the by the time, but it's fragile. His northern support is eroding, blah blah blah. That's all the media will be telling you, but I lie. Please
Like, share, and to subscribe. Subscribe. I see how many like. If you know like the way you. So Isa Pantami, as I said, that name be the only one are scared of. As far as I'm concerned, that's why I'm not yet. But it's time will come that they will not have choice. So Pantami, not with a fanfare, but with farewell and faith. The former Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, the Sheikh who traded Quranic recitation for quantum computing, the PhD from the UK who coded Nigeria national broadband plans like it was a divine algorithm. Born in Gombe, school in Tanzania, be waiting and call him, and Tech Lab. Pantami no stranger to controversy. Remember the old tweets praising extremists that had the opposition buying for his head. All the hacked accounts and the DSS proof that tested his mantle like a street test on a fruity service. Yet he rose under Buhari. He turned NITDA into a launch pad, chaired the AU 4IR Commission, and whispered to the world that Nigeria could be African Silicon Savannah by 2030. So the guy no be just somebody. He has a lot to sell to the youth, and he's doing it in a way that a lot of people are not paying attention to. Right? He's going to be the savvy version of Obi by the time his own movement get to national level. Or being a trader, or being a businessman, right? He tried, but we are literally in the age of social media. Obi understand that to some extent. His message is representing there. We are in the age of quantum computing. That's where Obi no understand what was going on. Not that he doesn't understand, he doesn't have to understand, but ability for him to tailor his message along that line, we help him. We help the Gen Zs and the Zoomers to gravitate towards him. And the man in a better position to bring that message on is Pantami. He's a person that those ahead of him, especially the northern elders, will also trust that yes, with this man in charge, we are rest assured that the digital world will not take advantage of our ignorance of the new lifestyle. Remember when Emir come out say social media was a terrorist organization. So who will be the best to actually control or push back at the presidential level, if not the man who they actually supported to be the first minister of digital economy in the country? That's Pantami right there. So both sides of the ladder, at the top, the elders, I mean, the southern elders might be concerned, right, for obvious reasons, but the larger part, because it's a northern town now, quote unquote, want to go by that. So the elders will rely on him more. We understand him more to actually be the one making the decision on how to deploy the latest technology as we come to see it. Because he has the knowledge and he has been is the pioneer of the new digital way of life at the government level in Nigeria. So there's no better person to actually get the trust and the ability of those who are ahead of him than him. Then the younger people, he's the best person to actually break it down to those who are technology inclined or not. And that's exactly how he's pushing his message. If you are a follower of his like me, underground, you break it how the world that we live in today is going to play out. What advantage and disadvantage that is before us. What threats does it have regards to our way of life, our faith, our religion? He's also the best person. The guy na shake. Not say no be just a title, because no, literally go through that education system and way of life and practice. So these are things that that put him, set him apart, and in a way give an advantage above every other candidate that is currently out there. So, and imagine if they find a way to not join force with this current Minister of Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani. It's over. So Peter Obi dropped by his house in Abuja on September 15, trading notes on AI and Unity like old coders, debugging a legacy system. See how that's not the hint of the future. Neither they tell you so. You don't ever hear say Obi go meet person and they say the center of their conversation are AI. And the fact that Obi has not found a way to make it as the center point of his message is what I don't understand. So 4 days later, Atiku Abubakar follows suit. The Waziri himself plotting economic and education over tea. But when Atiku visit, it's not small talk. It's strategy session for unseating kings. Why Pantami? Because the North revered him, a fusion of imam, professor, and political, wielding influence like a rocket in the system. Up south is polarizing for sure. Hero to some for digitalizing dreams, villain to others for past shadows. That's the qualification you need. A controversial figure that is controversial enough to grab the attention of everyone, both your lovers and your haters. That's what media wants. The South will not stop talking about a villain that he is, a terrorist, one of quote unquote, that they will want to pet him to be, a terrorist sympathizer, they will say. Every day that will be the subject on the southern television. Why the southern part of the country will focus on of the hero that he is, how modern he is, ability for him to have a strong faith and still Western educationally inclined, but above all, ability to quantumize their problem. If there's any word like that, he got it. So the way focus on his heroic nature, how faithful he is, right? Just it reminds me of Charlie Clark's Revival Stroke Memorial. The center point of that memorial is his faith. The lovers of Jesus Christ, a Christian to the core, who believe in family, all those good stuff. That's the future of campaign. And that's why I constantly say somebody is coming or a group is coming with an ideology that is so radical, but we can relate. You might not like it, but you can relate.
Somebody will come and say, enough is enough of this nonsense. This capitalist mindset. This money mindset. This family grabbing words to themselves. Somebody is coming. All this nonsense that will be indoctrinated to thanks to social media and pretty much all the media, like somebody is coming to say, you know what? There's a need for us to go back to God, whatever that means. After all, arguably Nigeria is a religious nation from both sides. So somebody will come and bring a message that both the religion divide, we agree. How you beat that? So, as I said, this one section of this southern media will focus on how a terrorist sympathizer is every day. Why did not we focus on the heroic person, the future, the divide between the past and the present, and most importantly, the future. So all you need to do is to spend his resources to bridge this gap, to bring the two together, which is emphasizing on, as a Christian, you can relate to what this man is saying, how you should move, how we should be, whatever they want to tell around. But at the same time, he'll be telling you as a Muslim, yes, regardless how you see this quantum idea, social media, whatever that is bad, but you have somebody who has your faith in charge, who can actually make decision, guide this innovation in a way that will be of our advantage rather than a threat to our way of life. Plus, I don't preach or they campaign for the guy. I don't know how. But it just makes sense if you look at what is happening right now and you are looking at where is the solution going to come, regardless of how small that solution is. It's not going to come from anywhere else but from us. But we might not like how is that solution will come, or from the person that is going to come, or from the group of people going to come, but something got to be done. There's no way we can continue like this. Everybody they do anyhow. There's no fucking way. So I don't know. Again, I could be wrong on this man, but the more I look around, the more I see things they move. The more I see himself they move. That's the storm. That is the man that will finish what Obi has started if Obi no fit finish him. If the Obi and the obedient cannot finish what they started, 100% guaranteed, Pantami will be that guy. Because I don't know how you would convince the Gen Zs and the Zoomers that Pantami is a terrorist sympathizer. Why Saudi Arabia investing hundreds of billions in America? Why EAU are investing billions of dollars trying to model and build their way of life along the latest technology, the innovation. So I don't know how you take. It's not possible. It will take you. I don't know I don't know how you are going. What mechanism you are going to use to say, "Oh, that man a terrorist. Don't vote for him. Don't support him because he's a terrorist sympathizer." No, like when an average young person they think of how do my government open a way for me digitally to be at par with young people from Saudi Arabia, young people from UAE, young people from Qatar, young people from America, young people from China. Because I don't see other people complaining about how we should not accept AI or quantum technology, even up to the point of Elon Musk's baby Neuralink, which is the fusion of human and technology. transhumanism, some people will say. I don't see Saudi Arabia pushing back. I never see any of the Muslim world that is pushing back on this technology or this innovation that is upon us. Instead, they are doing everything within their power to absorb it into their way of life and their society, or to build their society along the rest of the world, the Western world and China. China don't really build anything, say they be Muslim or Christian. They also inculcate their own way of life. So it's going to be very hard to actually demarket Pantami along that, religious terrorist sympathizer line. I will try, as I said, they will invest all their energy and resources, especially the Southern media. Rightly so. They will invest all their time and resources to push that narrative. But again, this is me projecting. I could be wrong, but that's what I live for. I live to be wrong. What's wrong with my network? So, to Najama, what do you think? Make sure we give his AAC to Obedience. May borrow them. Now, again, I am not saying these are the only 4 people anyway that will be gunning for presidency from the north. But as of now, then they are and then they are our front, and then they show interest. I know the governors too cannot be written off, but they are focused on governance. Yes, they never. They tell us how it won't play out. Now let's zoom in on Atiku and why about the shouts for him. Let's see if it makes sense.
Now we take a look at news stories making headlines around the globe. President Bola Tinubu has awarded posthumous national honors of Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, to 4 slain Ogoni leaders, completing the process that now recognizes all the team killed during the Niger Delta crisis of the 1990s, bringing closure to the people of community. He made the announcement when he received the report of the Ogoni Consultation Committee at the presidential villa in Abuja. He says the gesture is part of effort targeted at reconciling with
Now, my problem with all this media where they work for governments. What do you mean giving them a post award and bring closure to the people? Let them explore their oil by themselves. Free them. Leave their environment for them. Go away. When you leave them to explore their resources by themselves, that is a closure. How you go see people? What did they die for? They die for in an attempt to claim what it belongs to them naturally. And that thing is still not be given. When they give them back to the people, there will be closure. Anything well, I know the right time for when I'm going to read down, but continue.
people and directed officials to begin talks on restarting oil production in the region. State House correspondent Adesowa Amoran reports.
For years, Ogoni land has been a symbol of both Nigeria's oil wealth and the deep wounds it has left behind. The executions of Ken Saro-Wiwa and the Ogoni 8 in 1995, alongside the killings of 4 other community leaders, still haunts the people. Their deaths exposed to the world the heavy toll of oil exploration, pollution, and repression. On June 12, to mark Nigeria's 2025 Democracy Day, President Tinubu conferred posthumous honor on Ken Saro-Wiwa and the Ogoni 8.
I hereby confirm national honor as a commander of the Order of Niger CON on the following inauguration: Chief Edward Copan, CON Oskumos, Chief Albert Badi, CON Osumos, Chief Samuel Oragi, CON Osumos, Chief Tophios Oragi, CON Osumos.
Tinubu says today's gesture is to complete the cycle of recognition and ensure that no one is left behind. The president praises Ogoni leaders for choosing dialogue over violence and says Ogoni and Nigeria must now close that dark chapter.
As a government, take likely years of pain endured in Ogoni land. We recognize that. Otherwise, there will be no today. How do Ogoni people across the communities and generations to close hands? Put this dark chapter behind us. I'm all forward as a united community with single voice reconciliation. It's not an erasure of history. It is the commitment to write the next chapter together. We've done. I'm encouraged by the overwhelming consensus of the Ogoni communities to welcome the resumption of oil production under new
This is awesome.
equitable tax, resourceful commitment. Government will deploy every resource to support Ogoni people in this march towards shared prosperity.
He also directs officials to begin immediate talks with the community to start oil production with the integration of remediation programs. Professor Dan Baridam, who chaired the
All these
said the
people,
report reflects the collective
they are ashamed of themselves.
will of the
All these people should be ashamed of themselves. They are disgrace. See them. Now their own they can't fight for. Because as soon as the production of oil resume, now them go they collect the benefit. See them. That's what it's about. People die for a cause. The cause has not yet been realized. You are saying that a closure. That's well, as you talk, maybe it's a collective to write a whatever another chapter. That could have been a good thing, Sha. But Showore with stubborn head, and the Showore now is the biggest con of our time. I greet you, Ace. I salute you. So all these Ogoni people should be ashamed of themselves.
people.
Constituted the Ogoni Dialogue Committee, embarked on a most exhaustive and extensive consultation with Ogoni communities across all government areas and their diaspora.
But the National Security Advisor, Nuri Bado, says the outcome could reshape the Niger Delta region.
30-something years of very unfortunate history. He writes now the wrongs. What's his instructions? They will carry out this dialogue, community engagement, talking with the people, and getting to understand to move forward. It has succeeded, like what you have seen today. We want to thank Mr. President. We want to thank him for so many other things that he's doing.
For the families of those killed, the recognition carries deep emotion. And for activists, it's proof that non-violence can bring results.
No matter what happens, no matter how long it takes, in the end, not only Ogoni will become a better place, but Nigeria as a whole is on the right path. And I want to thank Mr. President. I want to thank the NS in particular for the tedious work they've done in bringing all this together. I'm a bit emotional at the moment, but my father and the other three will today at least be very happy that their efforts have been recognized.
Shut up, Mumu. Now recognition, now your papa die for. Some useless people pay all this one self. Your father was murdered for fighting for the control of their resources. You say he will be happy because you recognize them. Now that one ended they talk. That's how these are born through children. They are born through children. It's fucking crazy. Tinubu will make bar. Tinubu and Wike. Jesus Christ. With this exploration, we won't start. If nobody then get the company, they are in business partnership with the production company that is coming from outside. They are going to make billions. They go their power for a minute. These people. And I have this fool. See, Imumu. Idiot. If I say I be member of that family, we'll gather and beat this kind of person. And they go, this kind of person, we don't invite him. If you get this kind of man as your uncle, you go invite him. Invite him, go corner, you and your friend, now flog her well. Invite him, go village, beat him.
I'm a bit emotional at the moment, but my father and the other three would today at least be very happy that their efforts have been recognized. And we are living.
Now, see this fool. See how. Careful over now. I swear to God, I come from this man family. I go invite and go village. Go flog him. I'll flog out. It's fucking crazy. Saying that your father will be happy. That you're not short in life.
That their efforts have been recognized.
We are living here with the hope that something practical is being done and that our matters have received a hearing at the highest level.
Oil was last extracted in 1993 in Ogoni land. The government promises that environmental remediation will
since that time, I never. Oh my fucking word! These people are about to make money. Jesus Christ! It's like say you don't discover how you be that now. Tinubu and co are about to fucking make money. She make me.
hand in hand with renewed oil production. But in a region where mistrust runs deep, many Ogoni people will wait to see whether promises made in Abuja
so now
finally bring justice to the Niger Delta. At this one, Omorwan. News.
Thank you, Adesua. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu yesterday also received retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, the former administrator of River State, Finance Minister Wale Edun, and the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Olapulukwede, at the presidential villa. It was not clear what issues were discussed with the president in reported separate meetings. Ibas, who left office on September 17, following the expiration of 6 months of emergency rule in Rivers, arrived at the villa at 5:50 p.m. He was followed shortly afterwards by Wale Dun and Ola Olukoyede. The Rivers State House of Assembly under Speaker Martins Amiwole has indicated it will investigate spending during the emergency rule, which when Ibas oversaw the state. Ibas has rejected the Assembly's right to probe financial management during his tenure. Moving on, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has faulted a media report claiming management during his tenure.
Why Bola Tinubu pull off 6 months? Now, just because of that Ogoni drilling oil. What it means is that the people of Rivers, they don't know the kind of contracts where they just pull off. That 6 months was enough to do everything needed to be done. Fuck. They never drill oil for this since 1990. Lord Jesus. So everything is making sense now. Now things are making fucking sense. Why they do emergency rule in Rivers. It's like Fubara. They try cut into the deal or bring other people, like whatever. It's something is much to do about this drilling that is about to that it just started. So you give them award first, recognize them, CON. What it be CON? CON that they give everybody. All my friends for Nigerian athletics get CON. Now let me know get. Now let me know get. Every other person that I know competed with, started with. Yeah, they did better than me. All of them get, so don't be anything special. But you see now, you see what the brain behind this emergency rule for 6 months. Hey, my God. Okay, Tinubu. Now Ohando go did that. We'll see. Niger man. This Ohando thing where you bring up. I see where they go from there. These people are about to be the richest and the wealthiest family in the continent. Bola Tinubu finish 8 years. I talk God damn. Are you fucking kidding me? And that zone, that Ogoniland gets gas, even rival that of Qatar. I think Qatar is the second largest gas producer in the world. So with the Ogoniland, we'll be up there. It will be at least the 10th gas producing nation in the world. God damn it. Now I understand the emergency rule now. It makes sense. It's just making sense. I know it's not just about winning Rivers as far as the election. Winning Rivers, they don't do emergency before they win now. So, okay. Now, wow. That's good. Make it sense now. Everything is making sense. It's all right.
Moving on, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has faulted a media report claiming theft of crude oil worth 8.41 trillion naira. The commission in a statement said the report was based on a misinterpretation of crude oil loss statistics between 2021 and July 2025. NUPRC said the latest figures by the National Bureau of Statistics that Nigeria's economy grew by 4.23%, largely on the back of increased oil output, and the fight against crude oil theft justifies its claim that crude oil losses have been on a downward trend. The regulator faulted the report for relying on an exchange rate of 1,500 naira to the dollar from 2021 to 2025 to increase the figures In fact, Nigeria's exchange rate was less than 430 naira on the official market and barely 600 naira to the dollar on average between 2021 when most of the crude theft occurred in mid-2023. And the former Vice President Atiku has pledged that the interest of the Yoruba will occupy a topmost place in his administration's policies if elected.
What of the interest of
2027? He described as unfounded the narrative of fear that his presidency, if elected, in his words, might lead to Hausa Fulani domination over Yoruba or other ethnic groups. End quote. The ex-vice president stressed that his marital and personal ties to the Yoruba made such fears baseless.
Oh my God.
He promised that if elected, the Southwest would be central to his policy making. He described his Ijesha-born wife as his jewel of inestimable value and insisted that the Yoruba had always been among his closest friends and political allies. Atiku, a long-time presidential hopeful, is seeking to challenge President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 presidential poll. All right, a number of stories for us today, and I just mentioned that we have Dr. Ruben Abati joining us from Abuja studios. Good morning, Dr. Abati.
I be the wonder how, what's going to be his own story, like his motto. What's the campaign going to be inched on? You know, so if he's going tribal, it sells. That's identity politics. Wait, did this guy say Atiku Abati is in Abuja?
Good morning from Abuja.
All right, if it's so strange, but it's good to know that anywhere you are, technology has made it possible for us to engage seamlessly on the show this morning. So, to you, Dr. Abati.
Wait a minute. Abuja office don't go so. It go close to the make I see. I mean, Abuja verse.
It's so strange, but it's good to know that. All right, a number of stories for us today, and just to mention that we have Dr. Ruben Abati joining us from our Abuja studios. Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Good morning from Abuja.
Very soon, Astro Rock.
All right, it's so strange, but it's good to know that anywhere you are, technology has made it possible for us to engage seamlessly on the show this morning. So,
don't forget
to you, Dr. Abati, we have a number of stories for us this morning. As usual, we start off with the Ogoni 4, recognized posthumously by the president on the path to peace and reconciliation. And then, of course, we move on to the fact that he's also met with the solar administrator of River State in the last 6 months, alongside the EFCC and Minister of Finance, and of course, the other stories for us this morning. Your take on them?
Okay, yes. I had that. You want me to go first?
Yes, please. Go ahead. Please go first.
Oh, okay. Very good. Now, let me start with what former Vice President Atiku Abubakar said about what he intends to do if he's lucky enough to become president in 2027. Namely, that Yoruba people do not need to have any fears that he will be, more interested in Fulani interest, and that after all, he has a wife who is from the Ijesha stock, who has 4 children with him, and these children they claim Babariri and all of that. Look, this again is very unfortunate because it's about the tribalization, the ethnicization of Nigerian politics. And a man like Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar, who has been the vice president in this country, should know better than to play the ethnic card. To start with, that ethnic card should not work. It must not work. It is unacceptable. To the extent that there are more serious issues on the basis of which, Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar can engage with Nigerians. One, what Nigerians expect is not a president that talk about where he comes from, where he married from. That's not the interest. The interest should be, what does he intend to do for Nigeria? There are
Come. Who be this guy? Who be Prince too? I know get about who be Baby Dele. That name sound like an also name. That's the Yoruba man. What are you talking about? No, he go interview Atiku. Oh, he go interview Atiku. You sure? Niger man. Okay, oh, let's hope say like that. Say now only interview you go for. Nobody say he's going to go from there, go enter Asu Rock. Whose network is bad? Now your network, I been on my network, Prince. Your network is bad. Whose network?
Many issues. One of the issues you have talked about this morning is oil theft. Does he
I
have
think
answers to that? Questions have been raised about.
I think for once I kind of agree with Abati. You know, because me too, I've always asked myself question, constantly asking myself question, which story he will tell us this time? Right? And democracy has been snatched by Obi and Co. I think they will run on democracy. Democracy is dead, so they need to resurrect them. I think that's what they will want to run on. So what Atiku will run on, I don't get it. You know, this day, I know anybody who run and say, "Oh, Tinubu know they perform." The people are poor. And I don't get story with that because that's been that they don't run. They will run that one. So Muslim, like religiously, nothing will feel work for them unless that ethnic route, and the ethnic route is to animate the southeast, right? Because I foresee this marriage between the north and the southwest being like this for like 60 years. They go run the country for 60 years. The Yoruba and Hausa Fulani. This marriage that is so convenient, so solid. I don't think, no matter how they want sugarcoat them, Muslim together. No, this is a solid agreement between the Yoruba and the Hausa Fulani, who, quote unquote, they are the victors of the civil war, and they are head bent on making sure the Southeast pay for even attempts to even fight for at least another 50 years. They will suffer for another 100 years. Then somebody says that they will get power. This is not my conclusion, but this is what I'm seeing with this whole idea. Because if he wants to go the ethnic route, I don't know, but I mean, there's no way he can win in 2027 anyway. So his goal is still to maintain that second position, going to 2020, 2031. And that would be if I am to strategize for the North, I will pick Atiku for 2031 to be our consensus candidate, knowing that he will be very old at that time and he cannot do more than one term. And he could do 4 years from 2031 to 2035. You replace him with a young person like Pantami. Pantami, he could do 2 terms. Anyway, that's what is going to happen in America. Now I just tell you now the blueprint of America with that. The Democrats will not see power for at least the next 3 to 4 electoral cycle. 12 to 16 years, and no go see power. No, 12, no, yeah. 12 to 16, that's 4, yeah, you're not going to see power. I believe Trump is coming again and win. After Trump, either Don Santos, the current vice president, or Tosigaba will come and do 2 years. And the same thing, if I be the North, if I'm to strategize for the North, I will take that route. Run Atiku for 2031, he go win. We go make him win. Now our consensus candidate be that. It will be a vegetable like Joe Biden. Run him for 4 years, take him out, and bring a younger candidate. So I don't know what he's going to run on. Economy, he's been running on economy policy for a very long time. But there's one thing I'm yet to understand. I don't think Atiku is more of a neocon chihuahua. What I mean that he's not leaning towards the West in terms of his economy policy like that. Because to my understanding, the guy was not at Chatham House, and it's still going strong. Well, the clip is breaking. No, I mean the person I think. No verse. A person to run my mouth. Igbo should just focus on business. Politics is not their calling. No, that's not. Nobody say politics is not their calling. Yeah, the obstacle against them is too strong. If two people gang up against you, how you want to succeed? That's what is going on. So it's not that they are not politically, it's not that they are not politically inclined. It's just that they are coming from a zero ground. In fact, -1, and they come from. They were literally beaten to support and strip of their wealth economically. They were stricken of their wealth, as in everybody. So back to square zero. Then the political structure again, take -1 from them. So they are coming from a very, very distant position. And I must say, I respect them for how fast they are catching up. If they are a threat, after that's just between 50 years from coming from nothing to take on people who are economically buoyant already, powerful. I'm talking about the North, politically sophisticated, and they have billionaires within their means. That's the economy I'm talking about. The same thing with the Yorubas. The Yorubas are economically, they're not power. They could not level up with the North. So until the Southeast produce 2 or 3 billionaires, and if you want make and sweet, who their billions are not tied to the Nigerian oil, then, and if they are still struggling at that time, you can say they are not politically inclined. Say politics is not in their calling. So just see it from that angle first. All the billionaires we have in Nigeria are between the North and the West. How you want to get power when if you don't get money? So they are coming from a very disadvantaged position, but they will get there with this. They are coming fast. They are coming fast. So that's why they are struggling. They need money. They need money. Now all the millionaires, talking of in dollar times, among them are scared. Are scared to go all in like that, because hey, they will come for you. That's normal. So until the Southeast begin to produce billionaires to rival the North and the West, the playing field will never be to their advantage. They will always be struggling to get power. It's a money game, unfortunately.
NNPC Limited, does he have any concrete ideas about what he wants to do in that regard? In the front page of the papers today, there's a report that the Osun State government is protesting that there is an attempt to by the Minister of Finance to seek the president's approval to pay money belonging to the people of Osun State that have been held contrary to the rulings of the Court of Appeal and the Federal High Court, to pay to politicians, APC politicians. Does he have an idea about that? So there are more important things. Insurgency, terrorism that Waziri Adamawa can talk about. But to say my wife is from Yoruba land and my sons speak Yoruba, no, nobody is interested in that. In any case, he says he will defend Yoruba interests. Yorubas have had the President Obasanjo, they've had the President Tinubu. They are well represented in Nigerian politics at this time. So, how about that as a campaign issue? Number two, the Ogoni Kano, focusing on the Ogoni 4 and the Ogoni review committee report that President Tinubu received yesterday. Well, I think it's a good development that the Tinubu administration is committed to ensuring peace, unity, and reconciliation in Ogoni land. The Ogoni people, they have probably the most prolific OML in the onshore area in Nigeria. That OML has not been explored. Nobody has worked there for 31 years. Now, if you have an asset under the ground and you are not getting anything from it, it's a wasting asset. It's of no use to the people. It's of no use to the community. It's of no use to Nigeria. So I think that this reconciliation move is important. And there are other issues. If they manage it well, the interest of the people, it's a divided community. They say they are not well represented in politics. Only one person has ever occupied an important position. That's the Senator Magnus Abi, who was, Secretary to State Government at the time. But if we manage, it can work. Now, as for oil theft, I don't understand what NUPRC is saying. It looks like they are just engaging in a game of deception. A newspaper, not named, but partly wrote a story during the week and said we have lost up to about 8.4 trillion to crude theft. And now NUPRC comes forward and says, oh, the statistics was not properly analyzed. In terms of the analysis, even the newspaper did not check with NUPRC to get their own side of the story. The truth of the matter is that they are saying between 2021 and 2025, they've reduced oil theft by about 90%. How? As recently as 2022, the founder of Health Holdings, Tori Elumelu, gave an interview to Financial Times, wrote on X. Other people said that Nigeria was in fact losing up to about 95%. Okay, what we will expect will be a proper audit of what even happened before 2021. Have they done the audit? Are they able to tell us how much we have lost? All the people playing in that sector, now that said they were losing crude oil, how much did they lose? Why is the EFCC not talking to them to say, where did it go? Because oil doesn't just disappear. There's something they call Lloyd Insurance. When a ship leaves, everything is monitored. It's only in Nigeria that people will do top up. They will tell us they are using technology. That technology has not worked effectively. So there are so many issues about metering, about integrity and transparency within that particular sector itself. To now say, we have come down to just 9,600 barrels. No, it doesn't sound believable to me. There must be something they are not telling us yet. Must be piggybacking on what a certain newspaper said. Finally, the other topic that you mentioned, Ibo Kiteiba's Vice Admiral being sighted within the premises of the villa. Well, whatever the details are in that.
Who they thief the oil? Don't be them they thief the oil, they share the money. All the elites, from the military to all of them, that's how they make their money now. They know who they don't say that they steal farm. They just they tell us that they steal farm. Now then get there. The only thing that their survival link with that. So all their focus and their attention is on that oil. They know every oil that is good. They know where they go to. Nobody say they miss. You say Yoruba will never support Atiku when their problem is the president. Correct. Atiku should forget power and give it to Obi. This guy. I wish so things they work about good. Is it because Obi carry good for head? No, nobody know where Obi money day. It go eye down. So they don't know where the support they come from. Now only the small boys that feel victimized, burn their houses, burn their store, all those ones. But the bigger boys then they come from abroad. So they know if you do that or anything. They know if you do them anything. Now big race be that. They don't know where money day. He don't go eye down. So they cannot do anything to them. So it's So they need more people like that before they stand a chance. Atiku, until Atiku die, nothing until he died before he will stop. But I foresee him contesting in 2031. So don't write him up yet. Yes, so now Obi Atiku no fee win election again. Yeah, in if to say they really want come out to know, if to say there's really competition within themselves, say yes, they no belong to one. Say Nigeria no be one party system. Say all of them no be one. Their source of wealth come from one. Oh yeah, there's not the forfeit come together fight Tinubu now. But that's not the case. They are all in partner in crime. All of them are the same. That's why they say turn by turn. Don't just die. As soon as if you stay alive, you will win. So don't never write Atiku off yet. He never die. They go say, Baba, you have tried. Just take these 4 years. 2031. We don't say you don't old. So I don't think people should write him off. Nobody they thief farm. No, at this point, 2025, if anybody believes that they thief our oil, the person he need deliverance. But they thief our oil. Yeah, now them they smuggling out illegally. Illegally in the sense that of the record, of the national record, of the books. I know say Atiku will contest for 2031 election. So why you constantly making give up to Obi now? So what's the point? Why is the point giving it to Obi? And why they know the thief am? Why you they miss? No fit miss. Just like if you believe say our they miss, let me say you believe say snake and monkey swallow billions of naira, been dollars for WAEC office and Ikoyi. So once you believe that, then you can believe that our oil is missing. It's not missing. And then they sell them illegally. It's like maybe they run your own racket. If they work for warehouse, you dey smuggling stuff go sell. Yeah, on the side, that they do just that they overdo am. So anybody will come, it is time to thief. That's why I thought it Bola Tinubu and family with Wike, the money where they go make from Ogoni land. Oh my God. It's going to be fucked. It's going to be not something that we should just think we should just look likely. No. As now that no be oil well, now oil feed. It's like they give you Bakassi, just as Passenger give Bakassi away. They all got oil feed. Give you. That's what it means with this Ogoni move. So Tinubu is you know what he's doing. Yeah, Wike. That marriage is match made in heaven.
Regard. What we expect is that there will be proper accountability. And not as the River State House of Assembly has promised, of what transpired during the 6 months of Vice Admiral Ibas as the sole administrator in River State. I don't think that should be swept under the carpet. And I think that the president has also done well. If the purpose of that is to say, please ask the Vice Admiral questions, because he has used the president's name to say that he's only accountable to the president and that the House of Assembly cannot ask him questions. Now that the president has also invited him in the presence of others that are major stakeholders, well, we would like to hear that the president has told him to give account so that the people of River State can be assured that all was well or not during the 6 months of his stewardship.
Thank you very much, Dr. T. It was all well done in his 6 months of his stewardship. Well, hopefully, Nigerians and especially River State people will be able to find out based on the outcome of some of these reports and investigations. Let's come back into the studio here in Lagos. El-Rufai, your take on these stories before us this morning.
Let me start with NUP.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday conferred posthumous national honors of Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, on the late Ogoni IV, Albert Edward Kubani, Theophilus Orage, and Samuel Orage. President Tinubu bestowed the honors on the 4 leaders while receiving the report of the Ogoni Consultations Committee at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The President urged the people of Ogoniland to embrace reconciliation and unity after decades of division. President Tinubu pledged his administration's support for peace, environmental remediation, and the economic survival in Ogoniland, while confirming plans to facilitate the resumption of oil production in the area. The President recalled that in 2022, the previous administration handed the operatorship of the Ogoni oil field to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NPPCL, and his partners, and stressed that his government will build on that decision. Joining us on the show to discuss the federal government's re-entry into Ogoniland for oil exploration is Kledu Mite, former president of the Movement for the Survival of the Ogoni People, MUSO. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Yes, sir. Well, very quickly, in June, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave national honors to the Ogoni 9, CON. Now, at that time, the families of the Ogoni 4 were saying, oh, it didn't go down because, there must be, a balance in terms of the approach. Now the president has again conferred national honors on the Ogoni 4. In June, he also gave full pardon to the Ogoni 9, all in the bid to ensure peace and reconciliation. There has been no oil exploration in Ogoniland for 31 years. Despite the fact that Ogoniland, as I said, has the most prolific onshore oil field in Nigeria. Do you think that these steps that have been taken by the presidency, those steps go far enough, or there are still certain other steps that the federal government of Nigeria will take to be able to achieve the objective of the resumption of oil exploration in Ogoniland?
Well, I think that first, I think that the process, and we must put in context, it's not just about resumption of oil production. For me and for I think most of our people, it is about restoring the dignity of our people. We went through a process that saw a lot of tragedies that I think were avoidable. We've had the scares of daring to protest for years ago, and we must thank the president for the first time we see a president that listens, not only listening, but action, and are taking concrete steps that are already showing concrete results on the ground. So clearly, yesterday, what the delegation did, when we met the president earlier in January, he directed that we should have consultations amongst our people and come back with the outcome of that. We went through all the nooks and crannies of our people, harvested views from even those in the diaspora, and collected a report that outlined what the Ogoni people wanted. And yesterday was the formal presentation of that report. And I can say that even while that consultation process was going on, the president had also approved some confidence-building measures. You know that clearly people have passed, there have been several false starts that people were already losing hope and thinking that trust that when government says something, it will not be done. So government approved some confidence-building measures and actually acted on them. That rekindled hope. And the report we submitted yesterday also contained more detailed views of our people. And I think that we came to the villa yesterday with a report that captured those views of our people and our aspirations. And I think we left with the conviction that our voices are being heard at the highest level and action is being taken. And I think this is something that we think we should commend the president for.
To what extent will you say that report reflects the collective will of the people? Because the National Security Advisor was saying, oh, this is a representation of the will of the Ogoni people. To what extent?
I can say that the views were collected. They went to each local government area. We went to every community, youths, women groups, and they submitted their own views. So the report captured that what came out from. I think it was far more extensive than what you see around many places. So to a very, very large extent, I can say, yes, this captured the views of our people.
Okay, so I would really like we don't have the details of the report, but I would really like for you to share with us perhaps some of the key findings and recommendations, most importantly, and move forward from that report that you presented to the president. And then, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, okay, we'll take a quick break and we'll rejoin our guest in.
To share some details
okay.
about the report, because we talked about the details.
Yes.
But
so I'll just have to wrap up my question. Just about it. Can you hear me?
The report.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to also. I was going to link that report. If you can hear me, Mr. Mite.
One thing that came out clearly from on the same terms are in the same way that it used to be. And I think both the president and the National Security Advisor also captured that what the people were asking is responsible oil production. And this not a repeat of what we have gone through. And the process is on to have detailed engagement on each of these issues. There are reports, there are demands that you can say political. You can also say there are demands that are environmental. There are demands about participation of the benefits that come out of oil production on our land. And I think that clearly each of those items represent what the people have said. We have talked about having participation oil. What has been happening is that most of the time it used to be just the government and the oil companies sitting down and then sharing the benefits. And people were not there. This time, I think they're asking for inclusivity in what is said. And we are also asking that perhaps we should be also having use of what you call the resources of our land for our own development, at least some equitable portion of that, which are the things that were captured in our Bill of Rights.
So we'll come back to you very shortly. After this break, we'll connect again with Mr. Mite in Abuja. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to the morning show here on Rise News. Apologies for that break, but we still have our guest with us, Leader Mite, former president of the Movement for the Survival of the Ogoni People, most of with us, joining us from our studio in Abuja. Mr. Mite, I hope you can hear me now. I believe you can hear me now.
Yes, please.
All right, excellent. So I was going to ask, my first question, the tail end of that was to link your report presented to the president with the Bill of Rights. Were there any, was there any inspiration drawn from that? Does this now replace that? Or are there similarities or something that were expunged from your Bill of Rights to make this new report that you say is more holistic, involving a lot more people?
No, the Ogoni Bill of Rights are the aspirations of our people, demands we made, and it does make demands on the fact that the Ogoni people wanted some internal political autonomy. In the report, what that captured is that the Ogoni people have an aspiration to have a state of their own, and so a demand is not expressed. The Ogoni people in Bill of Rights had said that they wanted adequate proportion of the resources of their land for Ogoni development. And in that report, it goes on to say they're asking for some
okay.
in the of the operation so that we have benefits. So what you see, then in the report, we also talked about environmental justice, and we put in the Bill of Rights, and there in the report we expanded that to say, look, we wanted first a responsible oil production that's sensitive to our environment, and this should be a conversation that we agree on and how the modalities to put that in place. So what you see in the report was mainly, if you like, putting some practical steps to what was the broad demands in the Bill of Rights. It's not a question of replacement of oil, but it's to breathe life into some of those things that were brought. And then there is response about, the issues of empowerment, employment, and what you call developmental issues. These are some of the issues that are there in the report.
Nobody's saying that more.
Ask you, where are we with the cleanup as we speak?
Prince.
How many percent? John, are we with the cleanup?
Nobody's
Where are
saying
we with the cleanup? How much has been invested thus far? And did the government of Nigeria put any money in the cleanup?
I understand what you mean now. Say, nobody said that.
I am not particularly involved in the modalities. Well, we not able to put a percentage on what has happened.
Nobody said that now.
One thing that clearly came out of this is that we realized that some of the things that HYPREP is doing, we looked at the nexus between oil production and remediation. And they decided that HYPREP, what they are doing should also be made to sync with the dialogue process. So that if you are doing remediation, and there are certain activities and projects that HYPREP are doing on the ground, which also are reflected in what the demands we are saying, so that to avoid duplication, there should be a syncing of both measures, so that we know that we are not duplicating issues. So some of the outcome of that, and the president directed that the National Security Advisor and the Ministry of Environment should meet immediately in how to put HYPREP in a better state, in a manner that reflects also this dialogue process.
Okay. Mr. Mite, I'm interested in the political side of whatever was agreed upon. This argument that since May 27, 1967, when the state was created, Ogoni people have not been given very influential positions. But I know that Senator Magnus Abe made it to the position of Commissioner, Secretary to State Government, and then President Tinubu also appointed you into the board of NPCL.
Bola Tinubu and family about to make bang. I would not go surprised if by the year 2035, Bola Tinubu will be the richest family in Nigeria or in Africa. I will not. This oil exploration, so god damn. Now they talk say the guy not go win 2027. No wonder, you know, say nobody talk about that. The North, when I mean nobody now, the northern people no raise alarm about that. They don't bring them in a big way. That's why everybody keep quiet. On a good day, they was Bola Tinubu want to turn Niger Delta to his family business. You know, all those kind of nonsense. For them to keep quiet, they are in. Everybody is getting paid. For over 20-something years. 24, Abi, they not drill, now they won't begin drill oil. And that is the most, every Nigerian knows you go in oil land. So, and me say no one knows how to drill oil on that for this long. God damn. So, for the northern people to keep quiet, because I the wonder say come, how Tinubu will come out an elected governor, put another person there, and everything just
Everybody just more, and just go like that. Now I begin to understand those that are supposed to raise alarm have been brought into the scheme. That's incredible. Hey, that is something worth paying attention to. Even Atiku self no talk, Obi no talk, like everybody just quiet. That's Tinubu. Tinubu should be commended. That man should be commended. He's doing what will blow everybody away in few years to come. It's okay. God day. Abi? God day. Oh. So in order for him to come into to get his own share, to just stop democracy in that state. Huh? Prince and Najaman. I no trust you now. People are say una know somebody, we know somebody, we know somebody, we know somebody. We come from Ogoniland. That's the only way I can let you guys off the hook. I ain't gonna leave you guys off the hook. Oshe o Jesu, Aomania. Ogoni leaders are not serious. They don't sell. They don't sell the land to Tinubu now and friends. I want to come out with the biggest thing. Papa go to rejoice. So then give him postmortem award. What the fuck, man? Hey man, Nigeria, man. They don't get us well. They get us. They will run us for a long time to come. They after their pocket, and Tinubu is a way of everything. Of course, Tinubu give them what they want and bring them in into the deal. Case closed. What every other president no fit do, now Tinubu do so. All it takes him to just to take out the president, the sitting governor of the state, and just put this into motion. Kudos to him. Oh, see they don't they come outside. They don't they come outside. They don't they come outside. See them. See them. Leave them people alone. You see I don't trust you too, Minister Stable. Because for you to be quiet about this deal, then you know somebody, we know somebody, we know somebody. I don't trust you. The idea everybody is just quiet. It's not acceptable. Oh. Go follow. I no agree. Wike and Tinubu are fighting for their pockets. That normal because I just the one that they come. This is not just about winning Port Harcourt. Make them do this stunts of bringing a military former military. It's not just because they won't win Port Harcourt. There's more to it. Now everything is making sense to me. So now the whole
states they carry for oil. No be oil well. The days of getting oil wells are over. Now oil feed. And then they get. Naija matter no pass you, ministable. You are in. Obedience are what? Obedience no they see this one to raise alarm. Obedience no who knows all this kind of thing they happen. Obi, now the job where they give Obi be that. They say Obi, go and handle the youth. They have too much. Go and give them something to work on, something to focus on. I mean, I make them know understand. Say things like this are taking place. This is a big one, oh. People don't understand what just happened for Ogoni land. No be oil where they get to. People don't understand the magnitude of what just happened. They are no be oil well. They give them oil states. Oil states. Nine Tinubu carry. And Wiki. They come the front. Say nah, NCG. They come the front. What did they vest me now? 40 years from today, you go see similar within 2 levels will come the top. You know, it is because I was I didn't want to agree with that nonsense. Now all this one are cover up. All this river, this president Tinubu summon Ibas to Asu Villa and made 250 billion. This one are just nonsense. Now cover up, now lie. Now oil state now na carry. A lie. Now cover up. I only obedience go before for this one. We no agree. Wike and Tinubu are so powerful in Nigeria. Now them they control things in Nigeria right now. Waiting Tinubu and Wike getting. No, with this Ogoni deal, I totally agree. The country is under their control now. But that's why I am rooting for Pantami to come in. Pantami now go face. He go try to level things, but yes, there's no way you can match up to Tinubu again. I don't see how it won't happen if this guy sit down for Ogoni exploration for what 6 years. Fuck. Oh my fucking god, man! People never understand. Now my conspiracy theories don't they make sense to me. So when the America make move to decouple Europe from Russia in terms of purchasing gas from Russia, they went straight to the Nord Stream pipeline and they destroyed it. Events that follows. One of those events that follow was Bola Tinubu going to Germany, if I'm not mistaken, establishing a relationship. The German vice president was in Nigeria, signed a contract. They seal it up with another contract, and it's about oil and gas. Then the contracts to connect our pipe gas from Nigeria to via Morocco to Europe. So unplugging Europe away from Russia to give them Nigerian oil field. Nobody say now what they make the deal. This is in America, they made it because America can get our oil. See how everything today makes sense to me now. So that relationship that the German are running from Nigeria now because of the gas. Hey, me. See why they look for power. Nobody say they thief money. Oh, they go say that they thief money. Not be because of money they thief. Oh, this is why power is important. Things like this that will set your 100-year generation to come, for set them up for life. That's what this is about. Boy. Okay. You should make I forget this headline. And now they thought so, I said a distraction. A distraction. That's what they are trying to cover up. That is what they are trying to cover up with the shenanigan. Boy. Oh yeah, well. Oh yeah. Ogoni, that people were murdered. Oh. I shall go say, oh, Voko. I mean, oh, Voko, whatever they. This is fucking crazy. And everybody keep quiet. When I mean everybody, I know they talk of also. All the ministers with them for the north, they keep quiet. They focus on how democracy was murdered. How the north are not happy with Tinubu. How we they buy us for flood. Like some rubbish things. Then they take time, whatever. My. When Macron they play, I go chop your monkey. Makashantarabubusi katayala kashito. They don't finish us. They are fucking. There's no wonder. No, that's Mr. James, you tell me say Yoruba people they plan something. Tinubu they plan something. This is it, but I know this is not what you are alluding to. But god damn. Wait. This thing, I don't feel process and finish it. I could not process this Ogoni deal. I don't feel process and finish. On my mind say Ogoni, don't they explore Ogoni all this while now? Boy. Make I see the company where they come Ogoni. Come explore. Let me see if we can let's do some work. Let's do some work. Who am I? Let's do some research work. Let's do some work. Let's do some work. Make I go this route. The Nigerian government has announced hi. This is serious. When be this? What date is this? When is this? This was February news. Now February. How the fuck did I not even paying attention to this shit? Because all along I thought Ogoni, they drill oil for Ogoni all along, not knowing that in my lifetime they never drill oil for Ogoni. My Lord, let me see. Let's see what the Nigerian government has announced plans to restart oil production in Ogoni land, a region known for its rich oil reserve. President Bola Tinubu has conferred posthumous national honor on the late Ogoni leaders, Albert Bade, Edward Kabani, Theophilus Orege, and Samuel Orege. These are brothers. Collectively remembered as the Ogoni Four. The president urged the Ogoni people to embrace reconciliation and unity after decades of division. The government has pledged support for peace, environmental remediation, and economic revival in Ogoniland, confirming plans to facilitate the resumption of oil production. The National Security Advisor, No Ribado, has been tasked with the ongoing Ogoni communities and other stakeholders to finalize mobility or restarting. Okay, now this narration. Let's go to when this shit started. This is not my fucking God. This is in fucking February. Nigeria heavy industry has begun the backbone of its economy with the Niger Delta and all of its traditional activity. Now the prosperity. Flashback of the painful history. There is a painful history. I know. Wait, which company they in charge of this exploration? That's what I'm after. Let me see. Let me see. Who the heck? Let's go to the. But Shell, I thought America. And Shell, no, Shell don't sell some of their this thing to part of Nigerian. Make I see. Wait, this one okay. This is wait. Sorry, I'm jumping to conclusion here. Wait, what the heck? Jumping into conclusion, production will start business day. Let me see if fuck. I just see. Now, Wando, let's see. Let's see if it is Wando. I don't think it is. Let's see. This is not what I go do offline to take my time. Sure, sir. Which company did the? Oh, that did. Let me go to this more sophisticated way to get this shit. Yes, now which company wants them? This thing they give me, let me be patient to see. Okay, be patient to read through and see if there'll be an end. Okay. Um, So the president recorded in 2022, the administration handed the operationship of the Ogoni field to Nigerian National Petroleum Company PPC and its partners, and stressed that its government would build on the decision. It directed the National Security Advisor. Yeah, okay. So another one. Okay. What would they see? We see the companies we will come in after that time. All right. Fashion story then. Tinubu has won. I'll give it to him. This is a big. This is a big move for Tinubu and gangs. Oh, it's a mega idea. I don't think. I don't come on. I don't come on. I don't think the year will matter. Everyone will say until we don't. If not, make I see where if I had year.
On the four leaders, while receiving the report of the
I don't want to go by the top of the shit. But I no go. They no go. We no go get that details yet. Maybe let's give it some times. They go want keep the company on that G so that people will, because of course they no go. It's not going to be transparent in terms of awarding of the contract. So you know how that goes. It will not be transparent. So they go on now with time. Shall we go find out? But let's look at the what's there they take distract us. for now. Where would they? This now one meeting where Kwankwaso should be concerned about. These people again, Kwankwaso should be, because this meeting na gang up against Kwankwaso. They won't put down for in place. This APC Ganguje turn to shine. That's what this meeting is about. The meeting represents the first significant political meeting to be attended by Ganguje since resigning as the APC national chairman in June 2025. Report that the Kano APC meeting, which was held behind closed door, also had in attendance several party stewards, including Deputy Senate President Jibril Barrow, Senator Kao Sumaila, members of the House of Representatives, and as well as former and current political office holder. These people, they want to give Kwankwaso Shege. But it just I don't know about Minister, if you are still there. I don't think people are talking about this man also eyeing the presidency. This man right here. When that is a boy in dollar video go set him back na lie. This man has a high set on the national level too. So you might not be upfront about it right now, but I don't trust him. So while the agenda of the meeting has not been made public, it is understood that the focus of the meeting is to strengthen the party's position for the upcoming 2027 general election. Okay. I know say the Kwankwaso camp will respond to this. So let's see. My friend, Tinubu is my friend. Politics is just, fight is all political. We know. We say we don't know before. Now those we don't know, now then the fights. But we knew that's what the game is about. The game is about. Oh, my rule Igbo first. Not even out with Ogoni people. My governor was in Scotland talking about none other person than Monday Paolo was in Scotland today making history. Addressing Oyibo people. Mokuna didn't say he knows how to speak English. Our governor was winning bigly.
Now we take a look at news stories making headlines around the globe. President Bola Tinubu has awarded posthumous national honors of Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, to 4 slain Ogoni leaders, completing a process that now recognizes all 13 killed during the Niger Delta crisis of the 1990s, bringing closure to the people of the community. He made the announcement when he received the report of the Ogoni Consultation Committee at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. He says the gesture is part of efforts targeted at reconciling with the Ogoni people and has directed officials to begin talks on restarting oil production in the region. State House correspondent Adesua Omoran.
Let's listen to
For years,
Ulama.
Ogoni land has been a symbol of both Nigeria's oil wealth and the deep wounds it has left behind.
A visit to former Vice President and 6-time presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has sent rumor mills spinning Well, last week, key members of the Farm Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, met with Atiku at his home in the capital. In the Facebook post, Atiku said they visited him to express support for his mission to rescue Nigeria from what he called the stranglehold of the incompetent APC-led administration. There is a loss at stake here for both Tinubu and Atiku. Once regarded as the backbone of Buhari's northern power base, the CPC was key in finally winning Buhari the presidency after 3 tries. Already CPC chieftains, including former governors of Kaduna and Rivers State, Nasir El-Rufai and Rotimi Amechi, have teamed up with Atiku against Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027. Some of the members have denied the switch, saying Tinubu still holds the loyalty of the bloc. I'm now joined by a prominent member of the defunct CPC and former acting national secretary of the APC, Waziri Bulama. Glad to have you join me on
Thanks.
Prime Time. I want you to listen to a statement from ex-CPC state chairman, who held a meeting with Waziri. Incidentally, you answered the same name with former President Waziri, his title anyway, Waziri Adamawa, in his residence. He says, bring it out, make it visible. Politics does not operate in a corner. Bring your politics out. That is essentially what we're here to emphasize. We're the true followers of Buhari, and we are here today, sir. That's to Atiku. The CPC bloc is intact. What do you make of that statement? That's a very confident statement from these ex-CPC state chairman.
The key spokesman of the group that met the Waziri of Adamawa, Waziri was chairman of the defunct CPC in Adamawa State, while he rallied a few guys who were, leaders of the party with him, before the dissolution of the CPC in 2013. And they went and saw Waziri Adamawa, Atiku Abubakar. But you must also, I'm sure you're also aware that within the past, 3 or 4 weeks, the hub of the political family of President Muhammadu Buhari, led by Senator Tanko Al-Makura, he rallied the leadership of the defunct CPC to visit President Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to, of course, thank him for the state burial he granted our late leader, President Muhammadu Buhari. So these people, of course, there are just a few of them who were, chairmen of the defunct CPC. You remember that the CPC as a party, got dissolved. The entire structure of the party was dissolved along with the ACN and other parties in 2013 to fuse and, leading to the emergence of the APC. So the CPC its history does not exist at all. The reason why, for instance, in the last 2 or 3 months, we rallied and came together under Senator Tanko Al-Makura was to respond to the false and mischievous attempt, by a few, colleagues, former colleagues of ours, who wanted to disrupt, and divide the APC by, calling the name, CPC. But the CPC does no longer exist. But even as at then, when they started this, ruinous, futile effort, President Muhammadu Buhari himself was alive. He came out and said that his loyalty, his commitment, his convictions remain with the APC. So that seals the issue. So there is no actually CPC anymore again. The CPC as a party had been dissolved. What exists now is APC, and we have moved on. 12 years, and we have progressed, and quite a lot has taken place. Because in 2013, the structure of the CPC that came and diffused into the APC was made up of the party structure it was made up of National Assembly members, 34 House of Representative members, and 6 senators, plus a governor, as well as many, House of Assembly members and others that all, dissolved their membership and fused into the APC. So the CPC as a party no longer exists. CPC is history. What we have today is APC and all the ideals, all the aspirations, all the commitments and the undertakings of the defined CPC had been, absorbed by the APC.
Yeah. It's still being called a bloc within the APC, collapsed. The bloc is still there. I mean, you can say, yeah, the party does not exist, but that's the bloc. Even the Al-Makura you're calling now went as a bloc.
Has been forwarded to voicemail.
The
person you're trying to reach is not available.
To the president?
Yeah.
Of course I was
Okay,
there.
you're right. So,
yes.
The Speaker of the House told the President that the bloc is not fragmented or estranged, as it were, insisting that more than 90% of CPC's pioneer leaders remained active and loyal. He's definitely pulling a wool over the President's eyes. That's not the truth.
No, what the Speaker meant by that statement is that all of us that came from the different parties, we are all part of the APC. We are loyal, members of the APC, and we will campaign for the APC. That is what he meant. It's just like saying, okay, I'm from Borno State, or you're from Rivers State, I'll campaign for so-so party. That doesn't mean that your identity matters. No, the important thing is the party, the APC, which is a national, broad-based, issue-based, ideological party. That is where we are now.
Okay, so what do you make of, there's also a forum. This is quite interesting, the way politicians play politics. And we here try to get information from the politicians and maybe poke you a little bit. A forum of state chairman of the defunct CPC who said they support the president. They're crying out against what they call marginalization in APC, especially, for example, in the appointment of national chairman over the years. It's been ACN all the way, except when Adamu became the chairman, and they call that tokenism. They raised this in a meeting. So what do you make of even this group now who are crying out for marginalization in APC?
You see, the internal dynamics, in the parties, produces, a number of very interesting issues.
Scenarios, yes.
Scenarios, indeed. The idea of lack of reward, respect, regard, patronage, true and false, it's always a cry within political parties. You must understand that this our democracy, even though it's 25, 26 years old today, it's an emerging, nascent democracy. The parties
we keep using this phrase, emerging, nascent.
Oh, indeed. Because you see, because the parties, ought to be very firm, mature institutions. We have not yet grown to that level. There's no doubt about that. The parties are supposed to be strong corporate structures, guided by ideologies, guided by certain culture of doing things, and so we have not grown into that strong corporate institutions as they're supposed to be. So there's a great deal of struggle by members for relevance, for recognition. So this cry about marginalization is not just from elements within the old CPC, but even the SEN as well as the ANPP, they are all crying of one form of marginalization or another. And our party leadership, let me add, they are doing their best to address these issues.
Okay, well, if you say so. By the way, while we are talking about this, the wind, that's what I call it, of factions blowing like the storm, Regasa, that we're talking about in Asia. I was talking about it today. Almost all the parties, Waziri, have crisis and factions, including the CPC bloc now that we're talking about. So apparently from what we're discussing, you belong to the faction of Al-Makura. Why, and it's so pronounced this time around, Why these factions, and what does it do for our democracy, really?
You see, the reason why we have these divisions and squabbles and schisms in the parties
to someone on
is
the
largely
left, not even
because
someone who's sort of
we have failed collectively. I'm talking of the entire political elite now.
Yep.
And you asked me a professional question, and I'm honestly giving you this answer because it affects all the parties. The parties have not yet developed, have not been developed into ideological, hubs.
Except maybe the ruling party.
The ruling party too is also struggling because oftentimes you may hear,
the cry is that fingers are being pointed at the ruling party for sowing the seeds of discord in these other parties.
No, you see, the issue is the ruling party itself is struggling to survive and stay united because these pressures and tensions are there even in the ruling party, because you see, parties are supposed to belong with processes, systems, and methods of doing things that are transparent, that are fair, that are just, that would also hire people around certain values and beliefs, and people would pursue that those goals in the interest of the nation by keeping together, because we all come representing the diversity of our country, different backgrounds, regions, religions, as well as tribes. But under when you come into a political party, you kind of leave all these local identities and become a member of a political party. So in a party like this national institution, you struggle to ensure that this party becomes transparent, open, with systems and processes that are equal and open. So that is actually a struggle that all our parties are going through. And indeed, the sluggish way in which we are handling this issue of making our parties fully institutional is really affecting the quality of our democracy. Look, the biggest elephant in the room at the moment, let me even tell you, is voter apathy. Because the last presidential election in 2023, out of 94 million registered voters, only 26 million came out to vote.
The elite is being blamed for that.
Well, the point is this, it shows that people have cold attitude towards the entire democratic process, not just one party or any party, but the elites were not interested in voting. And knowing fully too, that voting in a general election is like a referendum on the democratic system itself. That is an issue that all the elites, all the parties ought to interrogate to improve their image in the eyes of the Nigerian public, to improve the trust gap that exists between citizens and the political class.
Yeah, the trust gap, before I go to the trust gap here is that politicians have left or are leaving governance, issues of governance, real issues of governance, and are just politicking. And so people wonder, why do I need to vote? And then the question of the electoral system or the electoral umpire not handling elections the way they ought to be handled, and politicians circumventing the system.
What the problems, this and many other problems that those of us, who are insiders know, that afflict, our practice of democracy are largely product of the diversity, of our country. Number two, the young age of this democracy, because, previous attempts at living in a democratic system, failed severally. Our first attempt from 1960 was for only 6 years.
Yep.
The military intervened. And the second attempt for only 4 years, 1979 to 83, it failed. Look, over half of the period of our post-independence life in Nigeria was ruled by the military. We have been struggling to build a nation. Even by 1999, when the military decided to hand over, Nigerians had to look for a leader who had national experience, an institutional leader like Obasanjo to take over the country, who ruled, literally had, ruled like the country from 1999 to 2015, because that PDP era was likely, his image loomed large, Then we had to find, a Buhari, a general, a former head of state.
Guys, sorry, I have to leave. I have some job to take care of. We'll come back later in the day to continue where we stop, I promise. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe as you go. Thank you. Bye-bye.